answering your questions. Let's go. Okay, so this question is pretty much for Donghang. Donghang is our gameplay designer and balance designer, and so he is in charge of the balance. He's sitting over there at his desk right now, looking into the balance data and figuring out what can we do next for the game. So I'm not the right person to talk about balance, but stay tuned for Stage Channel. You know what's funny? When update 7 was about to come out, the last minute feature that was deployed into the update was the replays, and we didn't really know that we had enough time to add it into that update. And the moment I saw it, I thought they're gonna ask for battle log and the ability to share the battle logs and battles outside of the matches and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we know. And friends list, yes, we need it. So yeah, I know. There is no certain data point that we are specifically trying to optimize for at all times. It's also about the team feeling about about the game overall. We know that there is still a big problem and big gap between the new players onboarding into the game and smoothly learning the game and kind of like acquiring good skills within the game. So, for example, if you create a brand new account right now, within an hour, you would get overwhelmed by the amount of minis, by the amount of hero upgrades, by the amount of sheer quest completion and the information that you need to kind of process in your mind to be able to know what's going on in the game and how to play it properly. So we still need to smoothen that aspect of the game out very much, and the whole progression system and the meta of the game itself. So the currencies, the introduction to the heroes, the minis, how complex the mini is versus how easy it is to play some of it and stuff like that. We need to onboard the new players much better still, even in update 7. But we believe that update 7 has solved the core gameplay problem that we thought had to be solved. So that's a good first step, I think. So usually we do plan for an update before the current update comes out. So basically, we already know what in general we want to do for update 8. We then estimate the scope, and then we understand how much time it's going to take and what features are going to be. But we don't really go more than that. We don't, at least right now, because we know very clearly what we need to improve, as I mentioned in the previous question. So, you know, it's very clear to us what needs to be better in the game, and so with that in mind, we just base our work on those aspects. And so we don't really have like, oh, this update is definitely going to be the best one or like the most successful one for sure, because we also need to, you know, wait and see when the update comes out and see how the feedback is and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. Hey guys, so funny story. The little trophy avatar that we used to have in the previous update and in the skull right now that we have, and all the kind of trophy avatars that we want to have in the future that are like kind of season exclusive to the people that climb certain amount of trophies, is actually kind of experiment to try to do this kind of rewards for the competitive players. I know it's not perfect. Obviously, you would like to show it off in your profile to show that how many times you've been the top 1,000 in a certain update and show that off. But yeah, I mean, it is definitely on my radar because I am kind of like long-term reward player and chaser and achievement hunter. So I would love to have that. And it would be amazing if we could do such a thing. But it is really hard to prioritize that kind of feature versus like, you know, a new player experience and kind of like getting people to learn the game and be actually good at it and then kind of like have fun long term, right? I think we are all aware of all of these things. The question is, how many of those are actually like the highest priority for us in order to make the game fun for everyone? And the answer is not many of these things. It's very simple. We can tackle these over time, one by one, but it isn't something that we're like, oh my god, we have to have it, kind of thing. So yeah, give us some time. And it's and yeah, we were considering, regarding free gems, as I mentioned before. We are considering having like special events where you could be able to get some of it, but it's still early days and discussion about this. So stay tuned. And for battle log and friends list, as I said. Okay, so Shipwreck will be reworked, and Shipwreck will be also part of something very special. So all the future boards are going to be also like part of a certain kind of progression as well. So that would be pretty cool. Don't think Clash Royale style. We're thinking something much more different. And we have quite a bit of work to do in terms of reworking the boards to look like the Healing Temple and Windy Plains that we have right now in the game. I'm sorry, Mini J, but I mean, in reality, for majority of the players, it is a skill issue, and that is especially true for a lot of new players, because as I mentioned, a lot of new players don't know how to improve their skills in the game, because they get a bunch of minis right away and they don't know which one to use and don't know how to use it, and so they're struggling. And yeah, but to be fair, there are a lot of decks that are able to counter Royal Ghost in Frenzy or even before Frenzy. So if you're referring to gold, yes, we know. High-end players, especially players that have been playing the game since like 2 years ago, you got plenty of gold. The new players are grinding gold and then using that gold very quickly. So we don't really have a major problem with new players using gold and having too much gold. Sure, I mean, just wait for the luck box and open it up. I'm sorry that we don't have any better option for you in terms of gold spend, but it is what it is. It's not a huge amount of players that are affected by this kind of thing. So yeah. There is no such a thing as favorite mod. There is only a difference between a dragon and a fin. That's it. Šta je tačno bilo dobro? Ne razumem tačno šta je trebalo to da znači, ali okay. No, you cannot. We have already locked in our hosts for the next stage channel, which should be happening next week. We will have 2 content creators that have never been hosts before for the stage channel, so you will see some new faces, and hopefully it will shine some spotlight on their amazing content they're making pretty much every day. So yeah, well, it's not about why we don't support. It is because also the language limitation. I don't know Arabic. I wish I knew. It is an amazing language with amazing history. But I just don't speak the language and understand it. So it is very hard for me to watch videos and understand everything. I can see the quality of the videos, obviously, but I cannot tell exactly what's being said. So that's one thing. Another thing is that Clash Mini is a beta game. And beta games very often have very limited amount of support in terms of language support. So it is very hard for us to kind of have like a huge team that is able to kind of see all the languages in the world and kind of like observe what's being made. But I'll take a look at your channel and see what's going on. Hello. And that's everything for all the questions that you guys have written under the previous video in the comments. Thank you so much for submitting your questions, having a chat, and I'm going to go get ready for some of the cool videos that I'm going to be working with some of our creators, and also for the next week's stage channel. Make sure to join discord.gg/clashmini, our official Discord server, to tune in live to the stage channel where we're going to be talking about feedback on update 7. I will be having Donghang, our balance dude, sitting down with me to talk more about the game and the balance and everything else. And we'll just be talking about update 7 overall, how it's going, what it needs, and all these kind of things. And stay tuned if you don't, if you're not in the right time zone for the stage channel to go live. Please subscribe to Santo's YouTube channel and the other co-hosts that are going to be announced very soon for the stage channel, so you can take a look at their recap video as well after the stage channel is over, because I know that time zones are a thing and they're not going to be able to be perfect for everyone, because that's how the earth works. Thank you all. I'll see you later.